outside. We were finally done shooting after 9 nights and 3 days shooting. We were finally done, completely exhausted. I remember after sending everybody home, Peter, Jessica, my wife, and I, we went to a restaurant to eat and to kind of celebrate. Yeah, as soon as we were there, I fell asleep while I was sitting there. So completely exhausted. And we only had 1/2 day to get the house in shape the next morning before the owner came by and we, exchanged the keys. And of course, after the restaurant, we could not just go and sleep. We had to start getting the house back in shape because that house did not look so good. There was a very nice, new, modern house, and we had to, take all the artwork down and the furniture, but that was nothing compared to the wall. Well, one actor actually punched a hole in the wall, so that was a whole different story. We had to run to Home Depot and figure out how to fix the hole, but the biggest problem was we had this one character that gets with a nail gun nailed to the wall, and there's a lot of blood and stuff, and I spent days in pre-production figuring out how we're going to do that, because I knew we cannot mess up the real wall. So I did research about wallpaper that you can put on, and then I thought maybe we can put on wallpaper, paint it gray like the wall, and then do all this bloody stuff and then peel off the wallpaper and throw it away, and hopefully the real wall is still nice behind it. But we tried it out, and just somehow it didn't work out, and in the end we actually decided we gotta start shooting, let's just use the real wall. So that's what we did. We used the real wall. We had blood splattering at it, and so we had to clean all that stuff up. And then, thank God, I researched, of course, before we even arrived at the house back then, researched the color, and we found in the garage of that house, we found the perfect color that matched. So in the end, we actually painted the entire wall. We painted everything, and it looked good. It looked just like new, probably better than before, but we had to paint everything, and of course I had to bring back the equipment, like all those 8 places I had to go for the chairs and the dolly and the equipment and all that stuff. But then another major headache, oh my God, white design furniture had blood on it. Oh my God, this would have been so expensive to replace. Thank God we spent a lot of money for blood, because the makeup artist said, I remember, let's not get the cheap blood unless you guys want that. I would recommend the expensive blood, because the cheap blood, that stains everything, even on the concrete everywhere, So we thought, yeah, we're not gonna save money on the blood. We're gonna go for the expensive one. And we needed like gallon of blood, So we spent a lot of money for that blood, but boy, was it worth it. But when we saw that blood on the white design furniture, tried to clean it, and then that same neighbor who invested $3,000 in our movie and became an executive producer, she came by this morning, saw what we were doing, and she went back to her house, and she came back with some upholstery tool, kind of like a vacuum cleaner but with water, and we used that on the furniture, and boy, that worked like a charm. I mean, everything came out, and that chair looked like new, maybe even better than before. And all the other furniture, we did the same thing. We cleaned everything, and time was of course running. It was ticking, because I knew the guy is going to show up. I actually had a nightmare about that the night before, because after the actor punched that hole in the wall, I dreamt that the house owner showed up, and I tried to cover it up with the mattress, but he saw it. He ran towards the hole and fell on his knees, and oh my God, what are you guys doing with my house? And I woke up sweating, like, fuck, we gotta fix that house, man, because we don't have the money to pay for all that stuff. But I tell you, in the end, that house was perfect. The artwork was back there, the hole was fixed, the entire wall was painted, the furniture was clean and back in its original place, and just in time the house owner came in and looked, yep, looks good. I mean, he didn't look like, what's going on here? He just looked around and everything looked good and everything was good. I don't have to have a bad feeling about it because it really looked good. We cleaned that place, and thank God everything worked out with the color, with the paint and the furniture and everything. So kind of another blessing. So we gave him the key back and thanked him so much for letting us use the house for this film. And whew, wow. And we were done. We were done. Thank God.